Welcome to part one of how to sell everything. I'm going to take you guys through the journey of sales that I've been in for the past 15 years and then condense it down into a 10-part series where we're going to be walking you through the exact way I teach people how to sell everything, no matter what field you're in. It could be bugs, it could be insurance, it could be B2B, B2C type of sales, whatever it is. This is how I've learned how to sell everything. These different types of strategies that I'm going to be teaching you through this series has given me roughly a 97% close rate. It has helped make me multiple millions of revenue throughout the past several years. And these are the exact tips and tricks that I'm going to give you through this 10-part series that I hope you're going to find a ton of value in as I give it to you absolutely for free. Couple recommendations as we're going through this. Have your notepad out, have a pen and paper, something, you're going to need it. Let's get after it. All right, so I'm going to walk you through first my sales process, and then what we're going to do throughout the next 10 episodes, or the next 9 episodes, we're going to talk about those intricacies and bullet points underneath those topics. Okay, so the 3 that I'm going to walk you through is what I call my ammunition. I'm going to second walk through what's called problem solving. And then third, we're going to walk through how to pitch and present properly. Okay, so let's get into ammunition and quickly just break it down. Okay, when I talk about ammunition, I want to add proper questioning and understand facts before I even get into the sales process with any type of client I'm speaking in front of. So let's say I'm talking to a person that I'm trying to sell them, let's just call it solar. Okay, so I'm going to want to talk to them how long they've had their house, how old is their roof, what's your electric bill, right? Just for 3 specific questions. Let's say I'm selling software to a company. Okay, hey, what does your software look like now? How long have you had it? How well is it performing for you? How much is it? Are they charging you per month for that specific type of software? So those are specific type of questions. I'm in insurance, so I want to help you guys understand what my AML questions are. In insurance, not going to give you all of them. I do coach people, so I can give you all of them then if you needed training. But I'll give you some of the questions that I specifically ask just for my ammunition. Here's the first one. Okay. I sell a lot of mortgage protection. I also sell infinite banking and annuities, and then I'm also going to be jumping into securities. So the first question I asked, just in mortgage protection, because that speaks to about 95% of the insurance industry, is number one, hey, how much is remaining on your house? Okay, so that's the first thing that I would write down. That's number one. How much is remaining on your house? Okay. Second thing would be, hey, how long do we plan on being in your house? Okay. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. There's a specific reason as to why I asked that. Okay. I forgot to ask, just going back one more, how much are you paying per month on your house? That gives me a good idea of budget. Okay. Is this the forever house for you? Okay, so that would be the fourth one. How much are you and your spouse pulling in per month? Okay, and then lastly, do you have any other coverages like 401ks, Roths, IRAs? Okay, maybe even some life insurance. There's about 8 or 9 other questions that I might ask through my fact finding. I call it ammunition, but through my fact finding, that helps me read the mind of the client better as I'm going throughout the second piece, which we're going to jump into, which I call problem solving. Okay, our job as salespeople is to problem solve properly for the client. Okay, if we do not help them understand the situation that they're in and then the result that they're wanting to get into through questioning, they're never going to admit that they need the product. Okay, so when I go through problem solving, let's just say it was in solar. Okay, well, I know you guys have had your house, let's call it, for 5 years. You guys have had this house for 5 years. Like, how much has your electrical bill been? Okay, let's say it's been $500. Oh, $500. How has that been? Is that affordable for you guys? Oh, well, let's say they say no, it's not affordable, or let's say they say, yeah, it's we have to make it work. Okay, like what should it be, or what is maybe a desired amount that you guys would like to have? Okay, great questions as you kind of start to go through and dig into the layer. So before I proceed any further, what I'm trying to do is walk the client like to down the road that I want them ultimately to realize in their head. So I kind of start from like square one, and then I go all the way to like, let's call it 10 steps, square 10. Okay, so I gave you an example of solar. I'm going to give you an example of insurance. Okay. In insurance, we really have to dig into the emotion behind the sale, which in my opinion, you have to do with really any type of sales job. But you have to dig into the emotion of the client, okay? And help them understand, again, where they're at and then where they want to be and what they don't want to have happen. And then what this product will do for them by having it in place. Okay, so let's say a good question that I sometimes start with is like, hey, like, um, I guess, was there something that happened to you recently or maybe in your family's life that caused you to feel like that this coverage might be important to you at this time? Okay. And then they'll give me an answer. And let's just say, well, my family member passed away 5 years ago and they didn't have anything and then I had to pay for it out of my own pocket. And that, really messed up my future, my financial future. Oh, like when you say like messed up, like, can you help me understand that? Okay, and then they walk you through it again. I'm digging. So another key word of how I train a ton of people is when you hear one painful word, okay, you want to dig in on that pain word. Okay, so there's a good buddy of mine that's videoing me as we're going through this YouTube series, and he does obviously videography. He sells the services. Okay, so let's say, hey, I didn't really have anything to capture. Let's say the client speaking to my videographer, and he's like, hey, I didn't really have anything to capture my last memory with my child. Oh, like what did that? How did that make you feel? Like looking back on it now, a year later, like that you weren't able to like remember the memories that you had with your kids. Oh well, now I can't remember. Like I really wanted to look back on that on my phone. Like, okay, like, so if you had the video from that, how do you feel like that would help you be able to like move forward mentally within the next several months? Well, it'd make me feel a lot better. I'd have memories with my family a lot better. Okay, like great. So like, what do you feel like that we should do in order to be able to capture video of your child and their birthday party moving forward? Okay, well, like I feel like we need to have some sort of photography. Okay, so as long as it always high quality, affordable, and then at the same time, like something where you could access all the time, you feel like that would be ultimately the answer for you? Yeah, it would be. Great. Okay, so see how you like I walked through that process. I just asked a simple question of a field that I'm not even in, but I broke down the emotion of the client to ultimately help the client problem solve in their brain what they exactly need in order, in this instance, be able to capture the memories of their kids within their birthday party or whatever event. Okay, so that's problem solving. That is where the sale is won and lost. If you do not understand how to ask the proper questions within the specific appointment to then close the client, they are never going to say yes or no themselves. You might say yes or no, but they are never going to say yes or no. And if they ultimately never say yes, then they will never truly buy the product. They might buy it then and there, but they might not help you with referrals. They might cancel it before you were to do the event. They might cancel it down the line, whatever field you're in. But if you do not truly close them at that point in time, then they are never going to be able to fully buy uh, right now and then obviously in the future. Okay, and then the last piece up here is presentation or pitching. Okay, so this is why the first two pieces are very important with ammunition and then obviously problem solving. When you're going into pitching and presenting, you really have to understand where the client's brain is at and what they need to be said in order for the product to then obviously be sold. Okay, so let's just choose videography again since we're on that. Okay, so I'll walk through my basic process. So here's how our process works. Typically what we'll do is we'll come out, we'll be there a couple hours early, we'll set up, we'll set up lighting, we'll set up all the booths and photo booths and all these things obviously for the birthday party. We'll make sure we're there 2 hours in advance. What we'll do is then we'll make sure that half up front as far as the billing, we'll have that sent to you, and then we can have half at the remainder. That's how we'll go ahead and charge. And then there will be a contract that will be sent over to you before we can even confirm the date. I'll send that contract over to you, and then as I send that contract over, I'll need you to sign. And then upon the signing of the contract, I'll need half up front as far as the billing, and then half at the end. Okay, so that's exactly how I would present. And then now I'm going to walk through all the options. So again, I'm choosing videography here, not the field that I'm in. I have no understanding of this field at all. Okay, so let's say I'm going through videography and say, hey, look, I'm going to give you 3 different options. I'm going to give you one that comes with like a DJ. I'm going to give you one that comes with like photography. I'm going to give you a backup photographer. I'm going to give you one that's going to come with a photo booth, sound booth. Okay, that's package number 1. Okay, package number 2 for me is just going to be like, hey, we'll throw the photo booth in, but we'll come up with a backup videographer as well as a videographer. And then lastly, the last option just comes with a videographer. That will just be kind of like the basic core package. Okay. And then obviously from there, I was like, hey, to make sure this is how I'll pitch from a videography standpoint, let's just start off with option 3 from a videography standpoint. Look, I'll be able to capture very minimal things, obviously not everything. But this will at least capture the highlighted moments and the big moments from the party. That's roughly going to come out to $500. The next option that comes with the backup videographer and then also comes with the photo booth, that's going to give the clients or the friends that you have coming over a more relatable and a friendly guest experience. And then at the same time, we're going to be able to capture every moment possible. So that way you have all the memories for your daughter and your family. That's going to come out roughly to $1,000. And then obviously lastly, with everything included, with the photo booth, with the DJ, with a full kind of VIP experience where your guests are going to walk away with just a phenomenal experience and obviously wanting to come back to your parties to celebrate your children. And then you guys have everything you need for the remainder of your life to capture every moment. That's going to roughly come out to $2,000. Okay, so of those 3 options there, which one of those work best for you? Okay, so to break that all down, that was a videography. To break that all down, like notice how before I even said the price or the value, you want to say value in this case, before I even said the value, I walked through all the benefits and then obviously the pain points from problem solving to ultimately then get the client to commit to the service, depending on the 3 options. Obviously, you want to do these all over the phone. Okay, you're not going to do these. You can do it through Zoom, that's fine. You can do it through FaceTime, that's fine. But you want to make sure this is over the phone, not through email, none of that stuff. Okay, so I broke down before I even gave the value. I brought up the pain point within the pitch that ultimately is going to allow the client to understand where their pain point is and then what option is going to be best to make sure they don't have that pain after the party in this instance happens. Okay, so going back to the 3 scenarios, we have ammo, okay, we have problem solving, and then we have pitching and then obviously presentation. Okay, that's the outline of this 10-part series of how I'm going to teach you guys how to sell everything. I hope you really enjoyed this. Stay tuned for next time. You'll see it in probably the next week, week and a half. And make sure you subscribe below to The Insurance Athlete on YouTube. You can also find me on TikTok, Instagram, at The Insurance Athlete. And feel free to message me. If you're looking for some guidance or mentorship in sales or even in insurance, you can go ahead and click the link in my bio that goes to my calendar. I am hiring the right people. I am hiring the right agencies in my organization, but only the right people. You have to be willing, you have to be problem solving, motivated, and coachable. If you're of those 3, we can potentially have an interview to see if you might be a good fit to fit on our team. As a side note, in insurance, we're looking to have the largest insurance agency in America. That's what I'm wanting to build. I'm looking for the right people that want to be involved in that. So if that's you and you feel like you're qualified and capable of that, click the link in my bio that goes to the calendar. At minimum, subscribe to The Insurance Athlete on all 3 channels. And we're looking forward to seeing you on part 2 of how to sell everything. Be the best.